All right, positive energy all the time. Here we go and go. Here we go, go, go. Here we go, a go. Here we go. Well, rep your city, rep your city. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and Facebook. Let's get it. Make sure you hit the notification bell, like, share, subscribe, and support the channel. Bad news for Haitians in the United States. Bad news. The temporary protective status ends February the 3rd. They will begin to deport them and send them back to Haiti. We're going to talk about it. Good to see you. We got Brinkston in the building. We got Cincinnati in the building. We got New York in the building. I will say that black immigrants that came to the United States definitely didn't play their cards right. It's one thing if you go to a little island or you go somewhere like that, but to come to the United States of America, a major country, major business, long reputation of foundational black Americans doing many great things in sports, in music, in business, you name it. Foundational black Americans is at the forefront of black unity. Always have been. Pretty much single-handedly to the point we got tired. There's nobody else was pushing no type of black unity but us. Jamaica, not really Jamaicans, Rastas, but not Jamaicans. If they not Rasta, they ain't on nothing. And Jamaicans infiltrated Rasta and turned it into some foo-foo type stuff. So Rasta ain't nothing no more either. But how do you come to a country like this and don't link in with black Americans? I tell you. As a young man, I used to be tripping because I was like, well, why do Africans don't come to the churches? They don't come to none of the events for our children. They don't contribute to none of our fundraisers. They only show up at a festival where they can sell their stuff. And when they come to the festival to sell their stuff, they just stay behind their booth. They don't socialize like everybody else. Everybody else is mingle, so not them. The Africans just strictly there to get money, and that's it. And then, when the government turns on them, want them to deport them, they want the same brothers and sisters that they ignore to stand up for. And the Haitians are notorious for that. Out of black people around the world, the Haitians have to be some of the least friendliest black people in the diaspora. Them and the Nigerians. The Ghanaians is all right. The Ethiopians are stuck up with their nose in the air. They're not friendly either. They'll speak, they'll act kind, but they're very snobbish. I look at the Ethiopians, I say, Emperor Haile Selassie didn't teach y'all nothing. But we're going to get into it. You know how I do. I wish the Trump administration would deport Pan-Africans. I'll talk about that later on tonight. If you're a Pan-African, would you please leave? Okay? Because your mind is in Africa, and we want you to go where your mind is at. We want you to get out. We're sick of black people that's here, that's not in the struggle here for what we got to do here. And that definitely includes black immigrants and Pan-Africans. They're just taking up space. But we'll get to the Pan-Africans later on tonight. Believe that. Right now, we're going to talk about the Haitians. The Haitians, Haiti was going crazy, and so governments helped them. But the way they did it was messed up anyway. The way the Haitians came here was totally unorganized. It was horrible. I remember 1997. I was down in Miami Beach. And there was just starving Haitians just walking up and down the street begging for money. One guy, he followed me. He had his wife. She had a baby. They was really skinny. And he just, please, money, money. I kept telling him, no, no, no. I had to actually threaten that man for him to stop following me. Now, it wasn't because he's Haitian. One thing I don't give no money. I don't give no money to no people asking for money. That's just a little quirk I got. I'm not giving you nothing. That's not going to happen. I don't have no money to give you. I don't know what you're going to do with it first. I was young, selling incense downtown L.A., and I used to go down to the next block to the McDonald's to use the restroom. And on the way, when I get right to the McDonald's, there's a brother sitting in front of the McDonald's. He said, could you help me? Could you give me some money, man? I'm really, really hungry. And like I said, I don't give nobody nothing like that. So I just went on in there. I ignored him. After I used the restroom and washed my hands, I had a change of heart. I'm vegan. I don't eat the stuff, but he said he was hungry. So I went and I got him like 2 sandwiches. I didn't just get him 1 sandwich and a fry and a drink. I got him 2 sandwiches, a French fry and a drink. I came out to McDonald's. I gave the brother the food and the drink, and he threw it on the ground and said, what the hell am I going to do with that? That's it. I'm not giving nobody nothing. That's all I had to say. The man threw the food. The man threw the food, threw the drink, and I gave him the bag and the thing, and he threw it on the ground. The drinks went everywhere. And he said, what the hell am I going to do with that? I was about, 22 or something. I was young. I was like, what? He wasn't ungrateful. He didn't want no food. He was going to buy drugs with it. He never wanted food in the first place. He was lying. And a lot of people be begging, be lying. I know some brothers that get up and put on bummy clothes and drive down in their BMW or Mercedes-Benz and hide it and go on the street and beg, make $400 a day. You can make $400 to $600 a day panhandling. All you got to do is put on some raggedy clothes and look broke. There's people make a lot of money doing that. And the better you could look, the more bummier you can look and the more realistic it is, the more you make. It's a hustle. The women make even more. Good to see you, Sharon. So the announcement came out that they're going to get rid of the temporary protective status for the Haitians. Whew. It's going to be crazy in February, grabbing up Haitians, deporting them. But it's going to be wild. They're going to be grabbing up Haitians and deporting them and dumping them in Haiti, where some of them ain't been in years. They ain't been to Haiti since 99. Oof. But they don't have any allies up here. I know Foundation of Black Americans, we're not their ally because they never locked in. They never locked in with us. They stayed separate and mean. Because I think out of all the black people, the Haitians are the meanest ones I ever met. And they just never respected us. From my experience at 67, black immigrants have been some of the most disrespectful people ever. No class, no decency. No wonder they left their country if everybody's like them. Just no decency. Imagine you're a black person and you leave your country and you know racism's all over the world. And you come to the United States where there's racism and there's some more black people. And you know they're dealing with this racism. And you don't deal with them at all. You intentionally teach your children not to deal with us. You intentionally spread propaganda about us that we're so bad, but you had to leave where you was at because it's so bad. You had to leave all the crooks and thieves and murderers and warmongers in Africa or Haiti and come here and make up a story that even when you make up a story how bad it is, it still ain't as bad as the people you just left. Your mama and your brother and them. And you come to a place with some other people battling and you don't reach out none. You try to walk with your chest out in technically those black people's territory. Basically. So you got black immigrants in my turf being disrespectful. Basically. And they find weak spots to do it in, like Miami, where it's a whole bunch of other immigrants. So it's not no whole bunch of foundational black Americans. They're here in Chicago, they go hide in little cracks and crevices. They can't really come outside with that energy because there's too many foundational black Americans here. And so typically, Chicago was like this. All the south side from downtown as far as you could drive is black. Then the west side, a big part of that is black. The north side was mixed, but mostly white. And so the Jamaicans and all them, when they come, they go to the north side. So they wouldn't have to be around us at all. And they would go to the north side of Chicago. So the two different types of Jamaicans, it was a clash because the sellouts would go on the north side. And the Jamaican brothers and stuff that was cool, that really liked black people, they would be on the south side. So we had south side Jamaicans and north side Jamaicans. And the north side Jamaicans was sellouts. Horrible, terrible. The south side Jamaicans was cool. The Africans went on the north side, opened up shops and everything. But while the Africans left Africa and came over here and hated on us, the Chinese went to Africa and dominated Africa. And then the Chinese took over all the cocoa butter and all that and sent it to the Chinese here. So now when you go on the north side, you want to get some cocoa butter, you got to get it from the Chinese. The Africans are out of business. The only Africans in Chicago that do pretty good business is the Africans that was smart enough to go on the south side and sell sisters' garments and sell us cocoa butter and shea butter and all that. They do fine. But the Africans that didn't come to the community, that went up on the north side, they all went out of business. All their shops closed because they was too stupid to know. There's not enough black people up here to support you, and these Europeans not going to buy that stuff you got, bro. We the only ones going to buy it. So they mostly drove cabs. Even still, they mostly drive cabs. And they mean they don't want to pick you up if you're a foundational black American. An African cab driver will not pick you up. I got a brethren, he's a Rasta, but he's a black American Rasta. He's a foundational black American Rasta. And he say, when the cab pull over, he have to say, "Man, can you take me home, man?" And then they'll take him. But if he say, "Yeah, I want to go to so-and-so," they'll pull off. He said, because they will not pick him up if he's a black American. They'll only pick him up if he's some type of immigrant. My first, because there's no Haitians here like that, my first experience with Haitians was when I went to Florida in 97. And I was at this big swap meet like mall, getting a guy to make me some custom jewelry. Nice jewelry place. It was some type of Middle Eastern people or something. They weren't Arabs, they was something else. But they did good work because you can show them what you want and they'll have it tomorrow. 14 karat gold. And we walking through the mall. This is 97. And in those days, anybody had dreadlocks. One thing we did, we always greeted each other. I don't care if it's a Trinidadian, Virgin Island, Jamaica, Senegal, England, brothers back then, because back then dreadlocks was just mostly Rasta. There was no other kind of dreadlocks. There was no just regular dreadlocks, no Chief Keef and all that. And so we seen these three or four brothers with dreadlocks. To our right, me and the brethren, we both got dreadlocks. So everybody, "What's up, brothers?" And it was like this. I was with a young lady from down there. I clutched, of course, because the vibe, and I got PTSD. And so I asked the sister, I said, "Why them Rastas didn't speak?" She said, them Haitians. I said, oh, wow. That was the first time I seen some brothers don't greet another brother, sister, when they greet you with kindness. So wherever them brothers at right now, if they deport them, that'll be a good thing. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Because it's a new day for foundational Black Americans. That's why we put foundational in front of Black American. And if you've been a hater, you get no more love. You want love, you got to go over to that punk Sarah Sudi. He'll ride your almonds. But over here, if you ain't been showing us no respect, to hell with you. I wouldn't care if they grab everyone and put them out. Because you ain't brought nothing to the table. You haven't brought nothing to the table. We don't lose anything. And that's you Black immigrants. We should lose something if they kick you out the country. And the fact that we don't lose nothing says everything about you all. We won't miss anything. As a matter of fact, things would be better for us if they kicked y'all all out. Because you're taking resources, but you ain't putting nothing back. And you're not a brother, and you're not a sister. You're really an op. You're an enemy, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, it's sad to say. It's not nothing that you're going to be happy to say, but Black immigrants are opposition, enemies. They're not allies, and they are not friends at all. This is not me hating. This is me telling you that they some haters. It's amazing when you expose haters, they want to call you the hater. You look at the Pan-African Foundation of Black Americans as Pan-African. How much African support they got? None. Only fake Pan-African Black Americans watch that. Some bootleg brothers pretending to be Pan-Africans. Because one thing about Pan-Africans, a Pan-African only lasts about 7 years. Then he be back regular. That's why every time you see a new group of Pan-Africans, if you go right now on a brother that's a Pan-African thing, most of them people over there support him is new. He don't know them, and they'll be gone in 7 years. It'll be a new group of fake Pan-Africans. That's a fact. I've been doing this. He's a little boy. They don't stick with it. It's a fad. I'm going to do my little African thing. And they do the little African thing for about 5, 6, 7 years. Then they don't be Africans no more. They go get married, have some children. Man, I used to be that, man. Man, I had a baby, man. I got with Keisha, man. He take his little red, black, and green off. You know what I'm saying? Now you see him, he got on some tight flood pants. He got his hair done like a girl. He got a tight t-shirt on that's cut like a blouse. Because he want to be regular now. It wasn't popping to Pan-African. He wasn't meeting no women. It wasn't popping Pan-Africanism. He wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no Pan-African clubs. Or he couldn't meet no queens. You know what I'm saying? Because, most of the Pan-African queens, they be, weirdos, for lack of another word. She got all her onks on and rings in her nose and stuff, making avocado sandwiches and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shorty be crazy. That's why I never married a Pan African woman. I always married a regular Black American woman, and then we was just cultural. I never messed with cultural chicks. It was weirdos. Let's take a break and we're finished. I mean, this. What you want me to do? You want me to lie? Huh? You know, I keep it real over here. Let's take a break. It's really absolutely going to be something else. It's going to really be something else when they start sending them people back to Haiti in the condition Haiti's in. That's going to be the crazy. That's going to be really crazy. But Haitians ain't got nobody to blame but theyself because they never locked in. They never locked in with us. So they on their own. That's between them and Trump. They never locked in. A lot of foundational Black American men voted for Trump just so you would get out. They knew Trump would throw you out. Facts. Foundational Black Americans, we really sick of other Black people. Because it's one thing when you got an enemy and you know you got an enemy. But when your enemy can depend on your brother to be your enemy too, that's the most egregious traitor ever. Because when you come over here in this situation we in, you're supposed to help us in this situation. No, you come and you just take advantage, like Kodak Black. Anybody could tell Kodak Black don't like Black Americans. He just make his money off of us. And the whole way he functioned, you could tell that he don't really deal with us like that. If he was dealing with us, you'd think he'd be a weirdo, a junkie, Haitian like that. We would have cleaned him up some. No, he's all entrenched in his culture. Kick him out of here. I hope they grab him too. Get him out of here. Now go over and take that weirdo stuff you're doing back home where you came from. You love Haiti so much. We're going to see. Get him out of here. I don't want no Pan-African tell me about no Black stuff. You should have told. Pan-Africans always telling Black Americans we got to be the Black ones. Y'all ain't noticed that too? Pan-Africans always want foundational Black Americans to suck up to all the other Blacks. They don't apply no pressure to the rest of the Blacks in the world. That's a fact. None. They don't apply no pressure. So it's all going down, y'all. Haiti's temporary protective status will terminate on February 3rd, 2026, with the Department of Homeland Security ending the program after determining that Haiti no longer meets the conditions for designation. This decision affects Haitian nationals who currently have TPS and will lead to the termination of their work authorization and protection from deportation after the date unless they have another lawful status to remain in the USS. In other words, they're fired. All their jobs will be taken from them, and they will begin to get deported. The Trump administration has once again moved to halt humanitarian protections for Haitians living in the U.S., this time announcing that their temporary protective status will expire on the 3rd of February. According to a new Department of Homeland Security notice issued on Wednesday, TPS for approximately 340,000 Haitian migrants will be terminated next year. In the notice, the DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said that Haiti no longer faces extraordinary and temporary conditions that would prevent nationals from returning. The statement comes despite worsening instability from gang violence in Haiti and political turmoil that has forced more than a record 1.4 million people from their homes this year. Despite acknowledging that certain conditions in Haiti remain concerning, including mass displacement and gang violence, and that the country's turmoil has spillover effects that threaten not only Haiti, but the stability of the wider Caribbean and the Western Hemisphere, the notice nonetheless argues that allowing Haitians to remain in the U.S. Hold on, let me read the rest of this. Is contrary to the U.S. national interest. And they're right. Because the Haitians, they ain't going to never fix that over there. And they ain't trying to fix it. They ain't trying to fix it. And they just got to go. Nobody can afford to keep taking care of you and babysitting you. There were stipulations to you being able to come over here. The things would get put together. And there ain't nothing getting put together. And you're in the way. You're taking up space. They want you out of Florida. For sure. And they want you out of New York City. And they want you out of all these other countries because you are not acting accordingly. And the main reasons Haitians aren't acting accordingly because they didn't tap in with the foundational Black Americans that's been here and move how we move so they can move in accordance to what's necessary if you want to be over here. This ain't Haiti. And this is the problem with a lot of Black immigrants. You want to go somewhere, but you want to turn the place you went to into where you left. You want to leave because you say it ain't no good. The conditions ain't no good. Right? Then you want to come and make the conditions the same way. And you're 100% correct. Their isolation in Florida from FBA makes them easy target fighters. Exactly. And good. Bye. 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 Now, Haitians and Black Americans share commonalities in facing anti-Black racism, but they are distinct groups with differing national, cultural, and historical contexts. Black Americans are U.S. citizens with roots in the transatlantic slave trade, while Haitians are people from a sovereign nation in Haiti, a country founded by a successful slave revolt. Tensions between the groups have existed, often fueled by stereotypes and competition for resources. But there is also a history of solidarity based on shared racial identity and experiences with discrimination. And there ain't no unity at all. Stop lying. Them people don't mess with us, none. They don't go to our churches. They don't go to our event. They don't deal with us none. They deal. Now they'll sleep with our. The men will sleep with our women, but the men will not deal with our men, and they will not. They don't want our men to mess with their women. They all do that. The Africans too. The Africans want to sleep with foundational Black American women, but they had Shelly Shunta somewhere in the back room. You can't talk to Miss Shunta, okay? But he could be all up in your women's faces. I can't wait till they kick all the Africans out. You know what? If you ain't brought nothing to the table, get out. This is like a love affair that then went bad. That's all. Because some people be like, but why y'all flipping on the Africans? Because it never panned out. It's like a bad social economic marriage. It's a horrible marriage. And Black immigrants have been some of the worst brothers and sisters in the history of being brothers and sisters. Even to the point where Africans was teaching their children the stereotypes about us when they came over here, rather than take their children to Black churches and Black Nation of Islam events and the good events, baseball games and bats, so they could really see our culture. They tell their people, don't mess with us when they get over here. So even when they open a store and you go in there, you can feel how uncomfortable they are, but they want your money. Even when you go to a cultural event, they don't want to say nothing to you until you walk up to the booth. They start smiling, hey, my brother, my sister. But if you walk up to their booth, they start smiling, and you look at their goods, and you don't buy nothing, they and go sit back down. They only smile if they think you're going to give them $1. They totally ruined concert events and vending. Totally. Because they start coming to the events with a whole bunch of junk. Turned all of the events in Chicago and LA, all the cultural events, the Garvey Days and Kwanzaa, the Africans turned it into African Fred Sanford. It's a whole bunch of, it was tacky. I remember I saw t-shirts, some African brothers came to California, I saw t-shirts, they just had them, they was wrinkled. They just took them out of a big bag, wrinkled, and was just hanging them up. Bob Marley and stuff. They totally diminished the value of the product. And they would run all over LA. And then they'll undersell you. A shirt costs $20. They got it for $7. They got it for $10. It's all balled up. So nobody wanted to buy the shirts no more because they made it look trashy. Yeah. Yeah, get them out of here. Tension and conflict, cultural clashes. Tensions can arise from cultural differences, including language, customs, and different approaches to navigating racial issues within the USA. Economic competition for jobs and resources can create friction, as can negative stereotypes about one group or another. External versus internal issues. Some Haitian immigrants feel that there are specific issues, such as the brutality they experience from police, are overlooked or dismissed by some Black Americans who may view Haitians as naive for believing in traditional immigrant success stories. They're already at the Somalians right now. They're at the Somalians up there in Minnesota. Now they took away their status the other day. They announced they're going to kick them out early this week. Joy or Jay. Let me see. What is that? Jay. Yeah, Jay. They announced they're going to kick them out. already. They got to go. So I don't care. What do black immigrants bring for foundational black Americans? Nothing. But they take a lot off the table. They eat a lot of bread and they take a lot off the table. They don't put anything back. Nothing. What are black Africans brought to how we benefit from black Africans? How we benefit from Haitians? We ain't benefit nothing from them. They ain't had the decency enough to come and work with us. You would think the Africans would come and hook us up, get the cola nuts, get the chocolate, right? Get the gold, ship it over. They sell us the gold wholesale. We open up jewelry stores, right? You think they be on some boss stuff. No. You would think the Haitians would come over here, boom, they would have the Haitian castor oil, right? Boom, this and that. They would have the wholesale. We would do the retail, right? No. The Trump gonna throw them all out. Let me tell you, black immigrants that are watching this, well, you made a mistake. White America was watching you hate on your brothers and sisters. And when you hate on your brothers and sisters in front of people, them people gonna run over you. My mother taught me that if I go to school and I treat my sister mean and tease my sister in front of other kids, them kids gonna abuse my sister and tease her too. And them kids gonna abuse and tease me. So black immigrants made a horrible mistake because everybody knows they don't respect their brothers and sisters. Everybody knows it. White America knows that black immigrants don't respect us. They know it. They don't like them either because they look at you as traitors. White Americans look at black immigrants as rats and traitors. Look, they don't even like their own kind. What a disgrace. Because they're not going to do that when a white person comes from Switzerland or whatever. They're going to still treat them with love and respect. So these blacks that came here let the whole world see they was trash. And that's why I've been on Cyrus who said, because he's such a coward for Pan-Africanism, he won't stand up for foundational black Americans. I hope they deport him too. He won't be an African so bad. Get his ass the hell out of here. Because Cyrus soon said, if you're watching, you ain't doing shit for foundational black Americans. You running around holding somebody else's almonds and peanuts. That's all you doing. You're a damn disgrace. When you going to stand up like a man for your own relatives and descendants in this country, stop crawling on your knees for somebody way across the ocean. Punk. Just in case you watch. You know, I'm going to hit him until I get tired. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's saying back because it don't matter what he said. All it matters what I'm saying. He's a punk. He's a disgrace too. Because we got all these brothers. Don't nobody want to stand up for us. Nobody want to fight for our cause. They want to fight for everything but their own family and their own people. It's a disgrace. But one thing y'all know, y'all foundational black Americans know, y'all know Big Pharaoh ride. You know I'm a rider. Come with me, Hail Mary. You want to ride or die? Die, 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 die. And so, you know, I'm riding till the wheels fall off. Y'all say we doing that, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. We standing on lineage, we stand on FBA. Everything else go in the garbage. That's what my people say. A good leader, a good ruler, when he see the masses of the people and they say, oh, great Pharaoh, we want this. We say, it shall be granted. The people have spoken. They don't like you losers that have come here and have not respected them. Under my decree, you must get out. That's how that would go. If my people told me y'all came and y'all ain't respecting them, y'all got to get out. Real leadership. Yeah, y'all got to get out. The people have spoken. So when they come, make sure you point out SETI and make sure you point out Professor Smalls. Them two, they Haitians. Yeah, they Haitians. They Haitians. You know what I'm saying? Get him and get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's a Haitian. His name is Sarah. There's two of them. Professor Smalls. They pretending they us. They pretending they not foundation of Black Americans. They pretending. Get them. ICE. Get them. He said, God, Jesus is the only God. God or Jesus, which one? If Jesus is the only God, who was Jesus praying to when he said, Our Father art in heaven? Jesus wasn't in heaven. He was on earth. So if Jesus is God, who was he praying? Who was he calling our Father, Charlotte? Okay, Charlotte, it's time to go back and study, sweetie. It's time to go back and study, because I could have sworn Jesus said, Our Father who art in heaven. Now, Jesus wasn't in heaven. He said the Father was in heaven. So you saying Jesus is God, so he was there praying and he was in heaven at the same time, huh? Okay. Okay, Charlotte, let me tell you something. I want you to go and I want you to tell your God and Jesus or Jesus God to make sure we get our reparations, okay, sweetie? And you tell Jesus and God, if they don't get us our reparations, and Yahweh, if they don't give us a reparation, we're going to demand that Jesus and Yahweh and God get deported, okay? With the Haitians, okay? We're going to kick God ass out of here if God don't get us our reparations. And Yahweh and Jesus, all three of them. Okay, Charlotte? Okay, now you come back Sunday, okay? You come back Sunday, okay? You come back on religious day, okay? I think you done drank too much wine at communion and you think it's Sunday. You got the wrong day, sweetie. But I got love for you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay? But it's not Sunday, sweetie. It's not Sunday, baby girl. You say SETI not adios. SETI is adios, amigo. He's adios. He's not adios. He's adios. He's lame. He's washed. He's washed up. He's demoted. He's just a private. He ain't no general no more. He's washed up. He's washed. He couldn't maneuver. He couldn't change his philosophy in time with the people. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't change. He still got the rotary phone. You know, everybody got iPhones. He won't still have the rotary phone. Paying that fucking is microscopic. You know what I'm saying? He washed up. You know what I'm saying? He probably somewhere watching the black and white TV right now. You know, he washed up. He old. You know, I'm wondering, how is he older than me? I'm 67. He younger. I'm like, bro, you old? You with that old stuff? Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Jesus is the way. I hope it work out for you. I got the holy lady over here. She done ate a bunch of dead turkey and now she loved Jesus with a stomach full of bird. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, they're about to kick the Haitians out. It's unfortunate we won't feel bad. It's unfortunate we won't lose anything. It's unfortunate we don't listen to your music like that. It's unfortunate that you never bonded with us and we don't not going to lose anything. You want to bring value when you come into somebody else's country. The problem with these black immigrants, they don't want to admit that they're black and acknowledge their black brothers and sisters in the country. That's like me going to a French colonized country in Africa and running around with the French and not acknowledging the blacks. That's how a lot of black immigrants can do it. And see, now a leader then got in there like Trump. They're going to do them dirty. Now they say, do you condone Trump doing them dirty? The point is that they set themselves up to have allies to help them if somebody do them dirty. No. Black immigrants in America didn't build no allies. And if you don't build no allies, you can't run and beg for allies when the war starts, when the fighting starts. Because allies are going to look at you like, I ain't been your ally. So now all of a sudden you're in trouble. Now we friends. It don't go like that. I didn't know you yesterday, and I don't know you today. I don't know Haiti. I don't know no Africans like that. They brought nothing to the table. Zero to the table. They took off the table. They competed against us. They talk against us. They look down on us in our turf. Especially in places that's not like Chicago. They do it in places with less blacks. You know, if they came to Chicago, that's why they don't come here. That's why you don't hear that problem in Chicago. You understand? You say, stop playing Who's My God? I don't know. Are you fine? You could be my God if you're cute, baby, but I don't know. I don't know, Haywood. It's just like they thought. Well, one problem with black immigrants is they don't know white Americans like we do. That's their main problem. They didn't know who they was playing with. They don't understand American government. They don't understand that one president might like y'all, but another president gonna get in and throw y'all out. And y'all got no legal status. And so what you would have done is you would have protected yourself to get some type of permanent legal status by being a part of a black political party so that it would be enough black people in there so Trump couldn't do whatever he wanted to do. But because you didn't come in and get politically active with us to put things in place in the government to protect you, now you got somebody in there going to throw you out. He can't throw us out because there's no legal status to throw us out. We don't got no country. Yeah, they see our delineation and they declaring war on black immigrants, but Trump already said that blacks built the country. He already said that. You understand? That's what a lot of people don't know about Trump. That's why I be hating on dude like that. My main thing with Trump, I just think he's too old. Basically. That's my main thing with him. I just think he's too old. But you have to listen to him close. You know? He know who we are. You know what I'm saying? He knows who we are. For sure. No ifs, ands, and buts. He definitely knows. And they know that them people don't respect us. So they basically will be like, we could throw them out. Black Americans don't care. That's why that happens like that. Because they already know we don't care. They already know. He know. For sure. No ifs, ands, and buts. They say Trump is the devil. I guess, if that's what you believe. Or whatever you believe, I'm not gonna argue with you if that's what you believe. That's what you believe, right? If that's what you believe, right?
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
You feel me? That's what he said. A lot of people miss that. You know what I mean? It's like this. When you go to school, you and your sister or you and your brother, you 12, your brother 11. When you mistreat your own brother, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. When you mistreat your own, everybody judges you when you mistreat your own because they feel like if you do your own like that, imagine what you'll do to me. And so black immigrants have shown white America that white America can't trust them because nobody gonna trust you when you don't show no love for your own. And white America, they uphold race heavy. Race, race to them is like that's your side, that's your team. Even with no hate involved in it. This is how they look at it. You don't ride with your own team. You a Chinese man and you don't like Chinese people? Really? That's how they gonna look at you. Nobody don't like you when you don't like your own. Nobody. And black immigrants came to America and disgraced themselves. Yeah, they embarrassed themselves. They disgraced themselves. Totally. You feel me? Totally. And so watch what happened. It's all going down. It's all going down February the 3rd when their temporary protective status will expire. Boy, oh boy. 2026 is going to be something else, all right? So, for all you foundational black Americans out there, you already know what it is. You already know what we got to do. You already know. We have to stand on business. Okay? We have to stay united. We have to stay focused. And we got to push for reparations. Victory.